When it comes to being a streamer, one of the most maligned and complained about things for streamers is the fact that sometimes viewers will trauma dump on your stream. And streamers have been getting more and more aggressive in their complaints about this problem, as evidenced by this clip here.
Oh my god, well tell you what, Miss Dirty Curvy, you know what we're not gonna do? We're not gonna talk about it in my chat. Because it's Friday, and that is a whole big bucket of bummer. And I'm sorry for your loss, but we're not doing that in my chat.
Now, I know that's a relatively extreme reaction. It definitely carries the sentiment that a lot of streamers feel, which is don't trauma dump. Now, compare that to Hex Haywire, the sort of VTuber therapist, whose, by the way, his entire backstory is the fact that he can take the pain of other people and put it onto himself to heal other people.
One touch, and I'll see it all your pain, all the hurt. I'll live through it all just as you did, whether or not I want to. This is my curse, and your blessing, your happiness for my pain.
Now combine that lore with how he talks about people venting to him.
I want to give a thanks as well to people who are sending me messages and just venting about your life. I hope that helps. I hope that venting about things helps, but feel free to vent on Streamlabs. I'm listening, I'm reading, I hear you. A lot of the stuff that you share with me, you want to keep private, so I'm going to keep that private.
Now, this moment in his stream wasn't exactly universally well received, as evidenced by some of these YouTube comments left under the video where he made that statement, with this person just generally warning him against allowing people to vent on stream or in Streamlabs, saying that he's not a licensed therapist, he's not a medical professional, and that he really shouldn't be offering to let people dump all their pain on him, because people can be very obsessive and get attached very easily and in a dangerous manner. And also going on to call him out for how allowing people to vent for donations on Streamlabs, telling people to vent for money, seems a little bit predatory. And that's not just one opinion. There was another person who commented who said, "I'm here to listen to your vents and worries as long as you pay me money." So obviously this comment was not necessarily well received. But this didn't stop at YouTube comments. Shortly after his video where he made those comments, people hopped on Twitter to say things such as, "Lol, Hex told people to trauma dump in Streamlabs. Man's still slimy, I see." Which, can I just say, holy shit. The man just said people were already venting and he just wanted to assure people that he is listening and that he does care. I don't see how that's slimy, but I don't know. And other people went to pile on and say, just because you tell people to seek real help does not deter them from coming to someone they idolize and dumping their issues on. He somehow managed to come off worse, which is impressive. Now, even if Hex did not have malicious intent, that does not mean his words didn't have malicious results, as we do see people on Twitter using his hashtag to trauma dump about their experiences. Now, the screenshot I have is censored, so I'm not 100% sure what the blurred out words say, but this tweet here says, "I'm sorry I didn't blank it more clearly because I'm a little dizzy with blank, so I can't cut it. It's been really bad lately. Come and cure me, Hex." Even though words are blanked out, I'm relatively certain that this is a tweet about self-harm. And it's really unfortunate that there are people in the community who are self-harming and genuinely need a professional to talk to. And it is really not something that Hex can actually do anything about. If you're at the point where you're self-harming, you need to seek a professional, not a VTuber. Now, with people such as that last example, and many other people in the super chats, and presumably even more in the Streamlabs messages that we don't even see, it seems that Hex Haywire had to address the trauma dumping thing again. Now, this next clip is really long. It's like 7 minutes long, but I really wanted to give the full context for everything he said, because I kind of feel like if you just take like short little 15-second snippets of what he said, you're not going to understand the full context, and it's going to be really easy to manipulate his words and make it sound like he said something that he didn't say. So if you want to skip it, I understand, but I genuinely think that it's all relevant. So I want to play the clip of him addressing the situation in more detail in a stream that he made earlier today, or yesterday when this video goes up.
So I wanted to talk about the advent of basically, a lot of you have been bringing up concerns about me being like a therapist, right? Basically to everybody. And I want you guys to all know, right, that it is all in good fun and really to entertain. Don't get me wrong. I love you all immensely. That part is completely real, and I cannot stress just how big, massive of an impact you guys have made on my life in just like what, a month and a week. But I also want to say, and I've said this so many times before, really, more times than I can count, I have said I cannot provide actual professional healthcare help, right? I myself, I attend therapy meetings, and I encourage you guys to do the same if you require it, or if you so desire to, or even just for maintenance, really. It's important. I really want to say that I cannot fix you past being a kind voice and being here as a streamer and a content creator for you. Like, I want to say, like, a lot of people are bringing this up, and it's very sweet. Even when I talk about it on Twitter, or I'm like, I love you, you know, parasocial or something like that. I really just want to fucking make people laugh, and it's just me being really stupid. I do really fucking care about all of you, and I want you guys to be healthy physically, mentally, emotionally. But again, I understand my limitations, and I want you guys to understand that too. I really, like, I've made this comment before, and I dislike how I have to constantly make it, but I will make it and set the record straight. I think it's pretty self-explanatory that, guys, you know, I'm here to be here for you guys in a way that is sensible, right? I'm a voice to help talk to you about things. We can vibe out. I can help you calm down. You know, if I help you with your anxiety, perfect. But really past that, there is not too much more I can do. But I also wanted to address that regarding, like, you guys coming to me. I've listed a new rule. If it's not there, I will list it because I'm still trying to find the correct wording. But I will say that trauma dumping in super chats or in chat is not something that I would like to encourage too often. I understand if you're having a difficult day, of course, you know, you guys are such, I really haven't had much issues with this. You guys are such sweethearts and very much darlings about it, and I love you. You're honestly past the horny bonk. You're very well behaved, and I just want to say that, you know, as you guys are super chatting, please just be wary of trauma dumping and being too explicit. I mentioned to you guys that you guys can vent to me in Streamlabs or wherever else, and that is because I don't have a marshmallow. I don't have Twitter DMs open. It is literally there if you want to. You don't have to, but a lot of people were expressing concerns about my own mental health, and I want to tell you that I am doing everything in my power to express that. It frustrates me a little bit how I have to repeat this over and over again, but I'll say it for the 10th time. Please pursue actual therapy if you need it. I can't fix you past being here, you know, as a streamer and entertainer.
So the reason I wanted to include such a long and mostly unedited clip is because I really wanted to highlight that even though he is actively telling people that they can vent to him however they please, he still actively specifies that he really doesn't want people to get too explicit, and specifies that he's ultimately not a medical professional and he can't be anything more to people other than a nice, pleasant voice to talk to. And I feel like that's worth remembering as we get into the comments that people are making about him, because people, I feel like, are either not listening to that particular segment, or if they've watched clips that don't include the full context, and they're coming to a lot more harsh of a criticism and an opinion of him than one that I feel is totally 100% valid. And when I'm talking about comments that are judging him too harshly, I'm talking about comments like this, saying, hearing about the latest thing with Hex was genuinely so depressing. I hope he gets terminated. Like, genuinely, because it's not even petty drama anymore. And I feel like this comment, and others like it that I'm not going to show because they all kind of say the same thing, are just themselves petty drama. Because I genuinely don't think he said anything so horrible as to warrant people genuinely wishing he would lose his job. And even people who aren't being quite so extreme as to call for his termination are still calling him out on this, saying, damn, Hex doesn't seem to understand that letting people vent to you will lead to people trauma dumping to you. The line between venting and trauma dumping is so blurry, and with how he tackles his relationship with his viewers, I can't help but think he only added that no trauma dumping rule because someone behind the scenes told him to. After listening to him explain it and just sort of using general common sense, I feel like it's pretty clear that when he says, tell me about your bad day, you talk to him about how things in your personal life just aren't going the way you want it to, not literally tell me about cutting yourself and your suicide attempts, right? I feel like those are two wildly different things with a clear delineation. And that's why I don't think it's fair to harp on him for encouraging his viewers to vent, because encouraging people to vent about their daily mundane troubles is simply not the same thing as asking people to give him an in-depth and explicit description of all of their ways their life is horrible and how they're contemplating doing horrible things to themselves because they're spiraling out of control. Those are different things in my opinion. Now, after these tweets calling for Hex to be terminated started getting play in the VTuber community, I started seeing a lot of comments like this, saying, there's no fucking way people are trying to cancel Hex Haywire because he doesn't want people trauma dumping in his chat. Are you fucking serious? Or people like this saying, I'm seeing so much stuff about Hex's little trauma dumping talk, and I cannot explain how infuriated by the fact that people are trying to cancel him. So please get your facts straight. There's a very big difference between trauma dumping and venting. If you did not tune into the whole stream, please don't make assumptions. Venting is something like saying you've had a bad day. Trauma dumping, on the other hand, is something very explicit. So when he said you can vent in Streamlabs, he meant something like you've had a shitty day. Don't get it mixed up and educate yourselves. Come on. The fact that people are also saying that you can vent in Streamlabs to get more money, what the actual fuck is wrong with you, dude? I'm sorry, but I don't recall him saying that. Or this comment here saying just because Hex's character is a, quote, therapist or whatever, doesn't mean you're allowed to trauma dump on him. Like, I get it. You want to vent, but please seek someone professional and not a VTuber for it. It's literally in his rules, so follow it. Now, I could go on and showcase more and more comments about this, but everybody is kind of saying the same thing in different words, so I think this is where I'm going to cut it off, because otherwise this video is going to be like 20 minutes long. But regardless, I hope you understand the context, I hope you understand my opinion, and I hope you all enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.